5 minutes to show you the last current project we're working on, and then we can have some. We're very happy to sort of answer some questions and have some comments. It'd be great to hear what your thoughts are. So this is currently Charlotte and I are based at the MACBA Study Centre and also at Hangar. We've been at MACBA since based there since March. Yes. No, sorry. Early March, and we've now just taken up our studio at Hangar, and we're working on this project that we're actually collaborating again with the Future Everything Festival on the 13th of May, and we're developing a piece of work called All the World's a Screen. That's the site of our blog, and that's the development of the project, and you'll see a lot of stuff there. And the term "All the World's a Screen" is taken from Shakespeare's All the World is a Stage, and the 7 Ages of Man, sort of discussed in that play, where Shakespeare talks about all the world's a stage, and all the women and men are actors on this stage. And it's a kind of like, in a way, if we think of the kind of social networked world we live in, and the kind of video conference world we live in, it's a similar kind of we end up with a similar kind of narrative, I think. And that's what we're currently playing with. So what we're doing is we're linking up over a video conference link with HD video conferencing. So it's all new, slightly new, complicated technologies we're trying to work with. And central to the piece here that we're going to present here in Barcelona is up on the top left corner is a model. We're building a model set that will allow the audience to come in and choose one of 7 different kinds of environments they want the people to interact in, and it's a little bit similar to how Hitchcock used to sort of do the sort of dramaturgy and scripting of his films. That he would actually build the set, like a model set, and then work out camera angles and the narratives of how rooms and spaces relate to each other as a kind of expanded cinema experience. And we're using that kind of methodology to develop this new background environment, and Charlotte's working on many elements of that particular part of the project.
So we've got some. Well, we start off with the idea of four cameras fixed into this model. Is a model, kind of tabletop size model, so that you can see some stills from that. And then we've got 3 rooms of our animated background. Using After Effects, it's quite different to the previous animations we've seen.
So we're still working on this, but to see these seven rooms that consist of live camera shots in a model and animations will provide the seven stages of man, and so they provide this narrative it's a very open narrative. We're not saying everyone's got to perform in a way like this. We're not really sure what people would do. People might come along.
Yeah, the idea is that the audience completes the piece. So the audience comes in and interacts with the props and sets and creates their own narrative each time, a unique narrative.
So that's the model, and there'll be cameras in there, and people can actually put their hand into the model. They could place objects, move objects around, find something in their pocket they want to put there, that the audience, who are then keyed into that model, so they are to scale with that model, will have to just deal with the kinds of things that people might put in there or might do in that space. So it's a very open environment, but it creates another sense of scale. That on the one hand, you've got this telepresent connection between these 2 spaces, and then you've got this other element of interaction, which is the person changing the set. And
so the idea is that the audience can then edit their own movie, in effect, using a little keypad. You can choose which camera will be showing on screen, so you'll be, in effect, editing the movie.
We can either do that with a little iPhone app as well, actually. We found a nice little iPhone app that will do that, so you can actually control it with a phone, or a little numeric keyboard. So there's another element of interactivity, but very much an open system of interactivity. We don't want the audience to think, oh, I mustn't touch the model. We want them to be quite sort of get hands-on with the model and doing things with it. And we're going to run it for couple of days. Those actually those are the tests that we first did just to work out the scale. It's all done at 1/25th scale, so we worked out how big we needed the model. And we're doing a couple of these presentations of this work. And hopefully, I mean, we don't know how finished it will be, but the first presentation will be at the MACBA Study Centre on the ground floor of the study centre on the 13th of May from 12 till 9.
Because the idea is that we'll be able to build on this, so we'll be showing this at these 2 times, but also there are other plans for showing later to those as well. So we'll carry on building on developing the work.
What I'll do is I can actually send to Rock, if I can send you the little flyer, maybe it could be distributed to some of the students here. So they'll know where to, if they want to come along and have a look at it, they can come and see it. And then we're going to present it again on the 28th of May, and I think it will be, we want to see what happens with the first presentation, and then work with it and do whatever we need to do with it, and show it again on the 28th. And then hopefully we'll then take it from there, we'll turn it into a much more robust piece that we can maybe show elsewhere and link over longer distances. And that's the way so this is the way we work actually right now. This is the fun bit, is seeing how these things develop. And that kind of
Against the clock.
is kind of it. There you go. That's the work so far. Thank you.